Brew, kind of an odd game. Ready to put a grade on the Cowboys' performance.
It is an odd game. I will say this. Dak saved himself with that last touchdown from
the game-winning touchdown on fourth down to save the season.
From an F grade. Yeah. It would have been an F grade. I don't care if he threw for 600 yards. 3 turnovers, 2 of them in the red zone. Like, they marched up and down the field on the Steelers, which is a great defense, and he kept screwing up in the red zone. But I graded this on a curve. Oh. You professors, you need to make these decisions sometimes. They were missing, obviously, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, Deron Bland, Brandon Cooks. They needed a win.
And they lost another edge rusher during the game.
And then lost 2 or had 2 offensive linemen back injured. They needed the win because they got Detroit and then the Niners, who were getting desperate, and Atlanta coming up. All right? They stopped the run. Now, Pittsburgh runs a lot. They're not a great run team, but still, they held them under 100 yards, less than 4 yards a carry. Did a good job. So I am nothing but, if not fair.
It's a high grade.
Really? No, in the context of I think this is fair.
Game.
But they had to have the win. Yeah. And they went into a tough area. I know Pittsburgh's offense is horrible. It's horrible. I don't know that Russell Wilson would be better, but they are not good. But
George
still,
Pickens trying.
They had to get a win, and I'll give them a B+ for.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's the minimum grade you could get.
You think an A?
Well, we said I thought when we were discussing the game, and you guys picked the Cowboys and talked about all the.
No, we picked the Steelers.
I'm sorry, picked the Steelers. Thank you, and talked about all the reasons the Cowboys were going to lose, and the injuries, and the matchup problems. And I said, so under that context, if the Cowboys find a way to win, it's an A game. You guys said yes. Now I understand the context of, but there were 3 bad turnovers. And it could have been a 4th terrible turnover, not on Dak, but the fumble at the goal line, the great play by the Stead. 4th down a touchdown, down 4. He makes the play to a guy who had just come off the field injured. Like that, and within the context of the conference. Like I know, Brew, last week you were saying the Cowboys are common. Man, aside from Minnesota, who isn't? Like the teams that we think the teams that have been really good over the last few years in that conference. The Niners look worse than Dallas. The Rams look worse than Dallas. They're ravaged by injuries, but they do. I think, you might disagree, Philly looks worse than Dallas. Detroit and Green Bay, to me, look about equivalent to Dallas. So
the Commanders look. I think we have to start.
That's why I said the teams who were the Commanders and Vikings have looked awesome, but those aren't like the perennial powers of the last few years. Now maybe they're all going to pop this year. I don't know, but I also think, and this would be the last point I make, that Greg, the Cowboys through 3 weeks were one of the worst run defenses ever. We were talking about, or how bad their run defense was. Since then, we can show it to you. They have been excellent. It was their biggest weakness, and against 2 teams, by the way, the Giants yesterday had no trouble running the ball. They couldn't against Dallas. Pittsburgh loves to run the ball, even though you're right, Brew, they're not a dynamic offense. So, I thought this was a great moment by Dak and a great team win, even though they didn't play great.
There you go. I thought it was a great team win. I'm shocked that you gave it a B+, but knowing the context of everything, I understand. For me, like watching them play, like this wasn't I got to get the ball to CD. Offensively, we're going to be CD-centric. Right. It was spread the ball around, next man up. We're going to use everybody, make a play when your number is called. And most times that numbers were called, Turpin, Tolbert, they all made plays. Jake Ferguson made plays. They even tried to establish running the ball. Like
they ran a lot.
Rico, he averaged like 4.4 yards a carry. He had a career day. Look, when you look at this team and defensively missing those pieces that you mentioned, obviously Micah being the most notable, missing those pieces for them to still hold a Pittsburgh Steelers team to where they had a chance to win it offensively, because Pittsburgh's not going to score a lot of points. So you got to make a decision if you're Dak to stop throwing the ball away, take what the defense is giving you. Our defense is playing really good. Just get the ball in the end zone, get points on the board. They did that. I give him a lot of credit for just having the resiliencies to take that 15-play drive and be methodical, keep the ball away from Pittsburgh so they had absolutely no shot to do anything.
Great win. Just quickly, just to turn to the Pittsburgh side of things, because you mentioned it, was that kind of a make-or-break game for Justin Fields, or are you giving all the credit to the Cowboys defense?
No, I mean, look, they're 3-2. They've played fine. He's not been bad. I mean, he just. It looks a lot like Russ looked last year in Denver. Now, maybe like I said a few weeks ago, I'm not ready to say Justin's my quarterback for the rest of the season. I'll even give him a few bad games before I bring in Russ. But I just their offense is bad.
So, look, I'm gonna be honest. The moment Kyle Allen came in the game, I'm thinking, they'll be able to throw the ball at least.
And his one pass was
not good.
Was a good pass.
I know. And I'm not saying they should move on to Russ, because I don't think Russ is the answer. As much as I would like to see Justin succeed, he's a threat running the football, but he's not been that guy.
He hasn't been running, and he hasn't seemed to, he had the one
he's not
big
using that
passing
to his advantage. So if you're not using the skill set that makes you different and primarily is your strength, then what are we doing?
So, and by the way, listen, Russ's PR team is still talking to Sunday Night Football sideline reporters like he's the starter. Like, I don't know if you guys he has a catchphrase, guys. He has a new catchphrase. They told us that from Go Hawks to Let's Ride. But it's something like Drive for 7 or 7 Heaven. There's something about them getting their 7th Super Bowl trophy. It's just embarrassing, but whatever.
If Justin keep if they
listen, they might.
Games,
I just think it'll be a mistake, because I think Russell Wilson is not a starting quarterback in this league anymore. Now, maybe Justin Fields isn't either, but can I just put a pin on the Cowboys piece of it? This is Sunday Night Football on the road against the #1 defense in football. You deal with a 90-minute weather delay. Mike Tomlin's on the other sideline. Your quarterback has 3 turnovers, and you have a field goal blocked. And they found a way to win the game. That is a turning point's too strong, but I know what the commentary would have been if that 4th down pass was incomplete. It would have been Mike McCarthy, hot seat. Is he fired if they lose to Detroit? All of it. And so that is a massive win for the Cowboys.
I still think they're going to get rolled by the Lions. Has Caleb turned the corner? Played great.
100%. You know the moment it happened. It was at halftime last week. If you've watched Caleb every game this year, week 1, totally out of sorts. They were so incredibly fortunate to win. Week 2, less out of sorts, but still didn't look like himself at all. Week 3 had some really good moments, and his worst plays all year were in that game. And then week 4 against the Rams, in the first half, it was like, man, is this not going to happen anytime soon? And then in the second half, he was awesome. And yesterday, he was awesome. And we can show you the first 14 quarters of the season, he was a bad player. The last game and a half, he's been an outstanding player. Understood, Wildes is right. Rams defense banged up, Panthers. He's not going to be a 131 rating guy the rest of the year.
Set your schedule.
But that's what it is. And now, by the way, the next 3 teams they play: Jacksonville, awful defense. Washington, bad defense. Arizona, awful or mediocre defense. We'll see. And New England, I don't know how good the defense is.
You actually have a good defense.
Maybe, who knows? I don't know. You let Tyler Huntley score 15 points. That's a lot. And so I'm telling you right now, those Caleb Williams Rookie of the Year futures are not dead at all. And he has gotten better. Completion percentage, yards per attempt, rating, touchdown interception ratio every single week, which is all you could ask for a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Nick.
What? This guy. I'm going to strangle Brew.
Yeah, right.
Why? What'd you do?
Tough love.
Yeah, tough love.
Tough love. Mm-hmm. All right. I was, for me.
Yeah, he's old school.
I was critical of Caleb. I always said the potential's there. I think he'll eventually be great.
You didn't like
but
his
he had
body
been
language.
Well, no, I didn't. I didn't like the body language. I didn't like the attitude. And now he's coming. I loved his attitude at that press conference. He wasn't like We won the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, I'm here now. I've really figured it out. He was solid. It was a good win, but, we got to keep good. Loved it. All right, so Bud list too. He was on the Bud list. Motivation, baby. Yeah, Caleb, he's looking good.
Yeah.
He's playing well.
Yeah, he's turned the corner. Look, I think a lot of, not just Caleb, but even offensively, the way that they're approaching the game right now, running the ball with a concerted effort to
Swift
run the
is
ball,
good, yeah.
to take some of that pressure off of them, regardless of what you get out of the runs that you call. But also, when you look at the offensive line, it's like, okay, I don't care who the opponent is. Yesterday was the first time I was able to watch a game with Caleb Williams in the National Football League, and he looked comfortable. He didn't look like he was rushing, like, oh, I got to hurry up and get the ball out of my hands. I'm trying to press to make a play because I got a guy barreling down my throat. Like, none of that happened yesterday, and he was able to be accurate. He was able to be on time. Like, he stayed in the pocket, extended plays. He did everything that we thought he was going to do right out the gate yesterday. And so when you start to see things like that, and they put up points, and you're getting the ball to your best playmaker in DJ Moore. Like, if this continues to happen, then
They're
you
going
add
to
on
be at worst 6-3. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.